that, Manus takes them to the rest of the Raylads.
And in the process, well, before that, Kree gets hurt.
That's right. Kree gets hurt and she has to give him...
And, like, he kind of, sacrifices himself to try to, distract Jen and Jod and gets her in the process. That's when they use the Lilies of Life the second time.
Yeah, to save, to heal Kree. But they go to the Raylads, and the Raylads have been living in hiding underneath, sort of an underground city that they built beneath the ruins of their old city. The only reason they found it was because of because they actually went above ground. Well, when they were above ground, Manus found his flute. Yes, and played it.
And
so then you just started seeing Raylads peek out of bushes. And
they slowly started coming into the light.
Yeah.
And then, and also cool thing about they came up with their own language.
Yeah, based off of, pictographs and stuff like that. Because they can't talk because...
of the curse. So it even, also kind of things like the Raylads are not only the builders of great cities and stuff, they are the great builders of language!
Of the written word!
Of the written word. They can do so much. So, then, and also finding out that they are of kind of the resistance.
Well, let's say the Raylad symbol for, was it bird?
Yeah.
Is the symbol of the resistance against the Shadow Lord?
Yes, that we come to learn in the next book.
Yeah.
So, after everything's said and done, they're they have a little bit of a celebration. Everybody's happy and hunky-dory. Yeah. Until, Leaf and them's just you know what? We gotta tell these people what we're here for. And they're just look, we gotta go to the forests. We gotta go to...
Lake of Tears.
Lake of Tears. To, get this gem. And everybody's freaking out, going you can't go there. Danger. Monster. Sorceress. Sorcery!
And what gem is it? Is it the ruby that they're after?
They are looking after the ruby.
Yeah.
And it gets to the point to where they realize, it's just okay, nobody's going to do it. Manus says, why not?
Well, that's the thing is, they saved Manus' life, so Manus feels he owes them a life debt. He's I
got nothing better to do. Yeah. Why not? Yeah,
wherever you're going,
I'll go with you.
I shall go as well.
I shall go with you. And then, they actually, this is actually the first time they could rest for a long time, so they stay in, Paladin for a few days.
Because it picks up, it's, right after the Forest of Silence, this book starts. There's no rest time, it's just boom, boom, we gotta go. They chill out at the underground.
For a few days, actually sleep, get their health back, and then they go to the Lake of Tears, after... on the third day.
Saldine.
So, then when they get to the Lake of Tears, it is just completely mush. It is
it's like a marsh.
Yeah, it's like a giant marsh. And then, the cool thing about the Guardian for this one, Saldine, he's not really a bad guy.
No, he's just clinically depressed.
Yes, he is depression. He is very clinically depressed.
Because he's this humongous fish. That just
he's he looks like a giant snakehead. You know what a snakehead is? A snakehead is it's a type of fish that is very territorial. It's an invasive species, and it's actually huge. It can actually live on land for about 3 days.
Huh. Yeah.
Yeah, and it is terrifying. Yeah. So. Yeah, he could talk and stuff and has a conversation with them. It's just
and you almost kind of feel bad for him because he has the ruby, and he's not even that against giving it to him, but he's it's the only thing that brings me any joy in life. I will not part with it.
And he gets
for that reason.
And then he gets to the point, Manus.
Well, let's think. Manus is playing his flute, and Saldine's
That's what summoned him in the first place.
Yeah, because Manus was playing his flute.
Because he sees everybody's kind of stressed out. And he's you know what? Let me play a little bit of music to soothe the soul.
And he plays it like Ron Burgundy.
Yeah, he plays it like Ron Burgundy, and then he's just
he plays Yaz flute.
He plays Yaz flute for everybody.
But yeah, and then Saldine's vibing to the tunes, and it was like, I suppose I could part with the ruby if you leave this little guy here with me.
He will be my best friend forever.
But Manus is like,
yeah, I'll do it.
I'll say, you saved my life. This is me paying that back.
Paying you back.
And when I was reading it, I'm like, because it was getting towards the end of the book. This is towards the end of the book, and I'm like, are they really going to leave Manus there?
Is this really how the book ends?
I mean, I guess maybe they'll come back and get him later, but it is not how it ends, because Mama Thegan shows up.
No, not even that. No, it gets to the point he goes and and they're just like, we have no choice in the matter. But then, he gets close to him, and he uses the topaz on Saldine.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
And Saldine starts remembering everything, like his past life before he was transformed into Saldine.
By Thegan.
Thegan.
Like the guardian at the bridge.
Yeah. And so he's just like, I remember everything. And then it's just like, I will help you. I have no choice but to help you so I can regain what I do. But also, we come to find out that in the middle of the whole marsh, there is a weeping statue of a beautiful woman that holds the ruby. And it goes in, and that's the only other thing that brings him joy is the ruby and the statue of the crying woman. So he starts, and Leif's just like, if you help me, I will help you.
Yeah.
We will help you. We will come back and, help you out. And he's like, okay, I will take you to the gym. Leif jumps on his back, starts swimming through the marsh, and he gets, the jewel and stuff, but he doesn't realize it's the ruby because it's pink.
Yeah, because the ruby
dolls in the presence of evil and poison.
Yeah,
which plays a part later in the series.
But then
that's when, thunder cracks.
The
sky opens up. Thegan starts falling down.
She just appears in a big crack of thunder.
Yeah, and she is that's like
you killed my babies.
You killed my babies. And they describe Thegan as this beautiful but ugly witch.
Yeah, she's this terrible.
She is she's very beautiful, but she has that little bit of ugly to her. Just it's a beautiful ugly. Thugly. And a thugly on her. And so, and she just starts whooping everybody's ass.
Yeah, she's just, pointing and zapping.
Zap. Point, zap. Point, zap. And it goes, their point, Saldine, she goes at it on Saldine. I mean, wailing on him. Barda tries to just run in there and beat her with a sword and all that. There's a point, they almost got her, but they weren't fast enough.
Yeah. But Kree saves the day.
Yeah. So at the last second, while she's distracted and all that, Kree starts flies in, immediately just gets her on their pinky
finger. Yeah, because her pinky finger is the only part of her body that's not
protected because that's where her magic comes from.
Yeah, that's where she shoots her zappies out.
Yeah, her zips. Zips.
So Kree swoops in and
attacks her finger.
Yeah, with the point of his beak, and it draws her blood, and that does her in.
Yeah, and she immediately explodes. So the whole time, I just imagine she just sees this oh no,
But with her death, that breaks the spell for the whole area.
Yeah, Malice starts to speak, and also we then find out that Saldine was a man.
Yeah, he was the ruler of the city of Dor.
Yeah, the city of Dor.
I guess how it's spelled, Dor.
Dor. Yeah, and his wife was the statue, and then all the maggots and everything that's in the Lake of Tears was his people.
Yeah. And the people of Dor, they're sort of similar to the people of Torah, but they are not from Del Torah. The Dorans came over.
They're kind of golden. They're golden,
But they give off very much Toran vibes of because it's
magic
Dor,
and strength.
Yeah, Dor is this great golden city, that gets restored after Thegan's destruction. And then what? And they hang out at Door for a while, don't they?
They don't hang out long.
Now, and then they go back to the Raylads.
Yeah,
who can talk now.
Yeah, and just like get a little bit of information, recuperate, grab what they need, and then they leave. But like the second one, it drug me into it, especially like after because we started seeing more of the puzzles. It slowly gets a little darker, and you get a little bit more emotionally attached to each of these characters. Even the villains, like you start to feel for the villains. It's just like this is.
I felt for Saldane, and then I for Thegan or her awful children.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. So even for like Saldane, it's like it actually talks about in the Book of Monsters. He's been there for a very long time because the reason Joseph wrote the Book of Monsters was because of Saldane.
Yeah,
because of those stories.
And that's the thing is like you kind of find out as you go on, especially in this book, that like Thegan's been in control of that part of Del Toro for a very long time. Like while the kings and queens have been all safe and happy with the belt up in its tower, in Del, everything else has been going to crap, except maybe Torah.
Because nobody can get into Torah.
But because the Raylads, they've been cursed by Thegan for, 100 years?
Yeah.
And it's only been 16 that the Shadow Lord has actively ruled over Del Toro.
Yeah, because the point...
It just makes you kind of more angry at the kings and queens of Del Toro.
About how bad they have let their people go. Especially seeing it from, their side, we were betrayed by the people who were supposed to protect us, and in the process, we lose our gem of power to somebody who isn't going to use it to protect us.
Yeah. But they gain a lifelong friend in Manus, who shows up quite a bit.
Yeah. You wish he showed up a little bit more, but
I would have been okay if he'd have stuck with them and been part of their party, but... it's all right. I'll let it go.
But also, they couldn't really add to their party because, they have to stay small. Because also, when they left, nobody really went out of their way because, it took a while for the Shadow Lord to even realize
it takes a long time for him to really start paying attention.
Yeah, because it's like, where's
and I
Thegan?
guess it probably starts with Thegan of because she serves him in some capacity.
Yeah. Because, that's where she got her powers from. And
I almost wonder if the Shadow Lord is the father of Thegan's children.
I think she just made them. She has the power. Like I was saying, it's obvious. It showed she has the power to transform and stuff. There's a good possibility. Because if you remember, each of her children are shapeshifters.
Yeah. But so is the Shadow Lord, and I don't know. I would have to sit down with Emily Rada and pick her brain. But I don't know. I've always kind of thought that the Shadow Lord was the father of at least some of her children, probably Ichabod.
I wouldn't even say that
because Ichabod is ridiculously more powerful than his siblings.
I'm still on the fact that I think it's just more kind of she creates chimeras. Because a good chunk of all the, of her children, they each all have aspects and they always come in two. I think they were some...
Except Ichabod. Ichabod is by himself. He has no pair.
He has no... Because he is the best. To be fair, he probably killed the other.
His counterpart?
Yeah, it's a good point. He probably killed
Possibility.
Yeah. But with it, then we find out in the next book we meet the children. Yeah. But let's so what were some of your favorite parts of the second book?
I like the puzzle at the bridge. That whole interaction with that really pulled me into that book immediately. I don't know. It was great all the way through. I mean, there was no bad parts to that book. I have no complaints.
That's the thing. Because
aside from Barda's
stupidity,
but that's kind of on purpose. That feeds the story.
Yeah.
Um,
Because that was the biggest complaint I